Welcome, everyone, to today's podcast discussing why God needs witnesses to judge Satan and the fallen angels. You can read the in-depth study on my website, The Church of the Firstborn, and also on my main website at A Matter of Truth.
Today, Judgment Day and the Lake of Fire. What's the deal with all that divine punishment?
It's a question that's burned in the minds of many, hasn't it? The imagery is intense.
Intense is one word for it. Some say it's about eternal torment. Others see it symbolically.
Exactly. The interpretations vary wildly depending on your theological perspective.
Right, and that's what makes it so fascinating and, frankly, a little terrifying.
Yeah, the mystery surrounding it fuels endless debate.
Let's start with the Lake of Fire itself. So what is it, literally or metaphorically?
The Bible uses vivid imagery, but whether it's a literal place of eternal burning or a symbol of ultimate destruction is a key point of contention.
So no definitive answer?
Not one everyone agrees on, no. Some believe it represents the complete annihilation of the wicked, while others maintain it's a place of unending suffering.
Wow. And the concept of annihilation versus eternal torment, that's a huge theological divide.
It certainly is. It shapes how people understand God's justice and mercy.
Why a judgment day at all? Why this need for a final reckoning?
The idea is that God's justice needs to be satisfied. There's a cosmic balance to be restored.
A cosmic accounting, if you will.
Precisely. Good and evil can't coexist indefinitely without some form of resolution.
So it's not just about punishing the wicked, but also about vindicating the righteous.
Exactly. It's about restoring order and affirming God's ultimate authority.
The article mentions the need for witnesses in divine judgment.
Interesting. It ties into the concept of justice. Even divine justice requires evidence and testimony.
So God isn't some arbitrary judge?
No, the idea is that even God operates within a framework of fairness and due process.
That adds a layer of complexity to the whole concept of judgment.
It does. It suggests a level of accountability, even for the divine.
Let's focus on Numbers 35:30. What's the significance of that verse in this context?
It emphasizes the need for multiple witnesses in legal proceedings, even in ancient Israel.
So it's a legal principle applied to the divine?
It suggests that even God's judgment isn't arbitrary. It needs a basis in evidence.
Right. It humanizes the divine, in a way.
It does. It shows that even God's justice is bound by principles of fairness.
The article also connects Satan to the judgment. How does that fit in?
Satan is often portrayed as the accuser, the one who brings charges against humanity.
The ultimate prosecutor.
Exactly. The judgment involves confronting his accusations and God's response.
So the Lake of Fire is also about dealing with Satan?
It's a significant part of it. It's the ultimate resolution of the conflict between God and Satan.
The article highlights different interpretations of various scriptures. Why the discrepancies?
Different theological perspectives lead to different interpretations of symbolic language.
So it's not always a matter of right or wrong?
Not necessarily. Sometimes it's a matter of emphasis and understanding.
I see. And that's where the debate gets really interesting.
Absolutely. It forces us to grapple with complex theological issues.
How does faith play into all of this? Does belief affect the outcome?
That's a central question. Some believe faith determines one's destiny.
A matter of salvation or damnation?
Precisely. Others see faith as a response to God's grace, not a condition for it.
Another significant theological divide.
Indeed. It's a core element of many faith traditions.
The article mentions the 1,000-year reign of Jesus. How does that relate to judgment?
It's often seen as a period of peace and restoration before the final judgment, a time of preparation, you know.
The article touches on the Great Deception. What's that all about?
It refers to the idea that false teachings and ideologies can mislead people away from the truth.
A spiritual warfare, if you will.
Exactly. It's a battle for hearts and minds.
And that deception could be happening right now?
The article suggests that it might have already begun, subtly influencing beliefs and interpretations.
So what's the takeaway? What should listeners consider when thinking about judgment?
Careful study of Scripture, considering different perspectives, and engaging in thoughtful discussion are crucial.
Critical thinking and open-mindedness are key.
Absolutely. It's not about finding easy answers, but about wrestling with the complexities.
The author seems to favor a particular interpretation. How should we approach that?
We should consider it as one perspective among many, engaging with it critically and respectfully.
Not accepting it blindly?
Precisely. We should form our own conclusions based on our own study and reflection.
So the lake of fire and Judgment Day remain complex and multifaceted concepts.
They are. They invite ongoing discussion and interpretation.
That was a great discussion. Thanks so much.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.